back.
We're so back.
That was a stressful. It was a stressful setup because we just came from a tournament. Haley's laughing over there. Did we go get that? Go get that.
Hand me the hardware.
Yeah. Get the hardware. I thought we would have more time. I did not think we would make it that far, if I'm being honest.
Neither did I.
We ended up finishing second at Far Westerns. We only got one. How come I didn't get one? I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Have the medal.
Hell yeah! Look
He
at
ran
this. We got another plaque
And a bid.
and a bid. But yeah, this interview. Who we got?
We got the big Cameron Thorne.
Well, I can feel like 80 rats in my Marys.
Arguably has the highest vertical.
Is that arguable?
Well, he not backtracked, but he did say on the out of system video, he's like, I don't know if I have the highest vertical, but he definitely has a very high vertical. I think it's like 48 inches or something like that.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, so this interview was filled with a lot of cool questions, a lot of high level insight from the best middle in the country. I think he was the only first team All-American middle last year in the NCAA. So looking forward to seeing him play in Stanford in a couple months.
Yeah. If you are a youth middle and you're wondering how to take your game to the next level, pay attention. This dude has all the tips. He has all the tricks, and he's got some great insight for you.
Shout out again to Cam Thorne for pulling up and sitting down with us. Really cool guy. But yeah, looking forward to this interview. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Going to GCU and then obviously being recruited to UCLA, like what do you think makes a good recruit?
Yeah, so that's a great question. A lot of kids and parents DM me with that exact question, like, what can my kid do to stand out?
Yeah.
And the number one thing, without a doubt, is grades. And a lot of kids don't want to hear that, but
Yeah.
if you have like a 2.0, like, and you're trying to go to like a Division I school, most of these schools are prestigious, like UCLA, Stanford, USC, like semi-prestigious. But you if you want to get recruited to a Division I program, you have to have good grades. It's just like the bare minimum. And I see these kids like, oh, hey Cameron, I'm a middle just like you. I would love to get some advice. And I'm like, all right, what do your grades look like? And I'm like, oh, 3 Ds and F. Like, you're not going anywhere with those grades. And thankfully that's something I learned pretty early. I think I was my freshman year of high school, and like I was slacking, but volleyball started like kind of taking off. Like I was getting decent, and I was like, okay, maybe this is something I can like pursue.
Right.
And I was talking to my high school coach about it, Coach Leo, who taught me everything about volleyball and who showed me everything and taught me all the ways. But I was talking to him about it, and he was just like, yeah, you need to have good grades. And he had a rule, like, if you had lower than a C in any class, you're not playing, you're not practicing until you get those grades right. So that definitely grades is the number one thing. Another thing that makes a good recruit is personality.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you have the talent and you have the game, coaches are going to come find you. But when you talk to these coaches, when you like have interactions with them, are you saying thank you? Are you saying please? Are you saying sir, ma'am? It's such a little thing that people don't think like coaches see, but it's like I hear the way like some like club kids talk, and I'm like, if you talk to a coach like that, you're gonna be fucking. Sorry, I don't want to swear.
You're good, bro.
You're gonna be mopping floors, bro. Like
Yeah.
you can't talk like that, and it's hard because I understand because when I was that age, when I was 14, 15, I had manners, but like
Sure.
it wasn't like to the extent where I was saying thank you and please every single sentence and like being grateful, which you should be.
It wasn't like intentional.
But yeah. But if you have to have a good personality and be a team player and be a locker room guy for these coaches to want to recruit you, especially if you're not like a top 10 player in the class.
Yeah.
Like I understand like top 5 players, top 10 players, they can kind of act how they want sometimes, but if you ain't that, you better start acting right, especially like with these coaches when you're talking to them. But yeah, that would be another thing. Another good way to get recruited is just work hard. Like make sure you're going in the gym at least 5 times a week. Not the volleyball gym, like the weight room gym. At least like 5 times a week, getting stronger. Touching a volleyball every day you can, beach, grass, indoor, whatever it is. Just even if you're like a middle, passing against a wall like 100 times a day, setting against a wall, whatever it is, just playing as much as you can is really gonna improve your game. And even if you are like a position like oppo, middle, or like setter, I feel like
Yeah.
passing is the number one skill like any player could have. As a middle, I'm not the best passer, I can admit that. But like just being a good overall all around player, like it can get you to like good schools, and you just have to be able to put in work and just have to like grind out and understand that coaches like hard workers, and that's for any sport.
Yeah.
If a coach sees you like running across the court, diving for a ball that you know you can't get, but you're putting in the effort to try to get it, coaches are gonna love that. That's
Right.
like like you see that in college gyms today, and the whole team's like hyping you up, like let's go, good move. Even though no one in the world's getting that ball, but even though you try to go get it, like it's just
Yeah,
like a good
and
feeling.
those are things that you can't teach either, right? Like, uh, I mean, for me personally, like from my coaching experience, like being like telling kids like like give a little bit more effort. You can only say that so many times. Like ultimately, that comes down to the athlete, right? But I guess kind of going back to what you were saying about your other coach kind of helping you get dialed in a little bit early. Like how important was your support system climbing up through the ranks? Because you transitioned from playing basketball first into volleyball.
Yeah.
Um, so what was that like in terms of having that guidance, whether that was from your parents or from, your coaches and stuff like that?
Yeah. So I grew up playing baseball and basketball. I started playing baseball when I was like 6 till 14. Then I played basketball from I think I was like 11 or 10 till freshman year of high school where I stopped and started playing volleyball. But yeah, I wasn't that good at basketball. I was like going into high school, I was like 5'9", 5'10", like 140 pounds, like not the basketball build, like, but
Yeah.
I love the sport. It's still my favorite sport today. But yeah, going to your next question about the support system, my high school coaches, Coach Leo and Coach Mark, they they basically taught me everything. I I forgot. It must have been like the first week of school, and then like Coach Leo, he was a teacher, and he like I think I forget the story of how it happened, but I'm pretty sure he asked me to come to tryouts, and I was like,
Yeah.
no, it's a girl sport or something like that. And then I was talking to this girl who played volleyball, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to practice today." And then I kind of like like flickered in my mind, like, "Oh yeah, that coach asked me to come play." And I was like, "Okay, I want to keep talking to this girl, so let me go to this volleyball practice, right?" So I ended up going and like having a fun time. It was like a blast, and I'm practicing with girls, getting like I'm getting destroyed because I'm
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
my first time playing, but it was so fun. But like him like having like that belief in me to like just
yeah.
come out and try it. Like it was like the biggest thing ever, and it really paid off. He was my club coach for 2 years, and then I switched to a club in Orlando for my 17 and 18th year. But yeah, that beginning of just having like two guys believe in me of my high school coaches, it was just like amazing.
Dude, that's awesome, bro. What was that transition like? I mean, like you said, you weren't the best at basketball, but like, how were you basically just all in after that? You were just like, this is what I'm gonna do from the jump, pretty much.
Yeah, so I didn't try out for the basketball teams my freshman year of high school. I went to like all like the summer workouts and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep playing basketball. And then that volleyball story happened, and I was like, okay, let me do this. And then I was trash my freshman year. I was not good at all. Um, I was like a bench player, and then I played club that summer season, and I was a little bit better. I was playing against guys my age, and it was like okay, a lot more fun. But yeah, it was like a pretty easy transition.
Yeah.
I love the sport of volleyball. It was super duper fun as soon as I played. But then I came back my sophomore year. We were like halfway through the season, then COVID happened, which sucked. Then
Yep,
I
I
was
was
like,
there
oh
too.
crap, this is like my only way out is cooked. But yeah, I was keep practicing during COVID, like trying to get better a little bit, like working out at my house and stuff like that. And then I came back my junior year and like it was just like a switch because I started working out the year before and then started playing volleyball a lot more and I was a lot better. And then I
Yeah.
won player of the year for my county in high school and then I switched clubs to 352 in Orlando. And yeah, that was just like the big switch for me. Yeah.
Your previous club, it just wasn't. I guess just more opportunity for the other club that you transferred to, kind of thing.
Yeah. So my first club was MVP. They were based out of Fort Lauderdale. And we were all right. We weren't that good, but every Florida tournament, I would see like 352, and I would see this team. It was Ryan Peluso, Nico Paula, Chris Conley.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, geez, these guys are insane. And like I'm seeing like college coaches always at their court. I'm like every game there's a college coach there, college coach there. Then I figured out that Chris is going to Long Beach, Ryan's going to Long Beach, Nico was going to Pepperdine at the time, but he switched later on. But I was like, okay, if this is what I want to do, I gotta make that sacrifice. And my dad would drive me and him. He would drive 3 hours every weekend to Orlando, and we would stay in a hotel. He would buy a hotel for me. We would practice Friday, practice Saturday, then drive up. But yeah, it was just like my 16th year. I was like, okay, I want to do this. I gotta put myself in the best position to like get recruited to a school. I wasn't getting any looks at 16, and then 17's happened. I joined that team, and then we made it to the national championship and then lost to Spike and Serve in the finals for USAV back when USAV was the bigger tournament. And then we won AAUs. So it got a
I get
couple
it,
eyes on me, which was amazing.
dude. That's awesome, bro. I mean, basically, to sum it up, at least for me on that part, it's like, not getting any eyes on you early on and starting your freshman year, or not playing volleyball until your freshman year, means that, I guess anybody can. I mean, not anybody, but most, you know, kids who don't have the confidence right now have that ability to, as long as they just keep working, to be able to go on to do really cool things, which is a cool part of your story for sure. Oh, my guys here. Jared, meet our new friend Cameron Thorne.
Hello,
What's up, man? How you doing?
You brought a medal home?
Yeah, something like that. Fancy paper too.
1 second, bro. Let's see. We were just talking about his story, climbing up the ranks through club and stuff. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I guess my next question, uh, just in terms of like things you would have done differently, right? Because I mean, you got to where you are now, right? Like the level of play that you're able to play at, and accomplishing all these really cool things. But what would you have done, I guess, differently, uh, during your time, if there are anything you wanted to do?
That's so funny you asked that. I would have played Oppo, to be honest. I mean, I middle's fun. I've had some success in middle, but I feel like if I just had like that opportunity to play Oppo, it would I wouldn't get like the recruiting process wouldn't have been as hard for me. Like every school that I reached out to was basically like the same thing. Like, oh, you're like 6'4".
How
You're a bit.
how'd you end up in the middle?
They just stuck me in there my freshman year because like they were just like, okay, you have no other skills except for hitting and blocking, which was true, and even those skills were not that good. So I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm just trying to play, and the barely the minutes that I played was in the middle, so I was terrible, but I just stuck with the middle, and then eventually played outside my junior and senior year, but for club I was always middle. But yeah, I wish I tried oppo instead. I feel like I had the more height requirement for oppo than middle.
For sure. I mean, but even then though, like the things you're able to do, even though you are, I mean, would you consider yourself undersized as a middle?
Oh yeah, for sure,
I mean,
100%.
even though you are 6'4", and the average height of a middle is what, like anywhere from 6'7" to to 6'11", right? Like this guy- that's another thing too, bro. Okay, well, before we kind of get back into the professional aspect of it, bro. How do I? Maybe we have to cut this.
Do you have any tips or anything that you give to, someone who might also consider themselves to be like an undersized middle, or not even middle, just like an undersized player in general? Like what's important there to really kind of stand out from everybody else?
If you're undersized, you better be able to jump. It's it's honestly just the rules of volleyball. If you're small, you got to be able to get up. For middles, I would say, depending on the age, if you're 15, I would say switch positions now. If you're, I mean, like 16, 17, 18, and it's a little bit too late, just do with what you have, work out as much as possible, get your vertical up. It's not impossible. You see guys like I forgot the name, but he's like the Argentinian national team middle. I think he's like 6'5", and he's
I
like one of
forget
the
his name
best
too.
middles in the world. Taylor Averill, even though he's like 6'6" or like something like that, he's still insanely good. He like led the Olympics in blocks or something like that. So it's not impossible. Just if you're gonna do it, you better be all in on it, because coaches are gonna not recruit you just based on size alone. You could hit 1,000 every tournament, get 10 blocks a game. They just see the height and it's like, oh, done. I've had so many college coaches when I was in the recruiting process, not straight out come out and say it. But I knew that's the reason why they're like, oh, right now we're looking at something different. They're looking at the like terrible 6'10" kid that can't get off the ground instead. So
This dude's like, look at me now. Look at me now. That's
yeah.
cool. I guess just piggybacking off of that question, like, what are some of the skills as a young middle, I guess, that you focused on during your time, but also like are working on now, or like kind of the harder things as a middle to really focus on?
Three things. I would say speed, number one. I'm always trying to get faster, but that's something I really like. I feel like that's a real like key point in my game. Like I'm fast to the pins. I can close like I can try to close every block I can. Like I feel like I can close majority of the blocks. Um, Two would be you have to be able to jump. Of course, we just talked on that, and then reading the game. I feel like
Mm.
it's like an aspect of the game that like it's like an art in the middle. Being able to read
100%.
setters is like such a skill. Every day it's like I'm trying to get better and better and better at reading. I feel like sometimes it can be difficult when you're playing like elite setters. Like when I played Rowan my sophomore year, it was super difficult to read him. Moni obviously last year, two guys that are like pretty hard to read. But once you just like start getting eyes on like these high level setters, it kind of gets all the same. Like perfect pass, middle bick, or like if he's off a little bit going outside. You can kind of pick up patterns, and that just comes down to scouting and how much film you watch, which is another key component of getting better. It's kind of hard at the club level when you're playing a bunch of different teams, but when you're in college, scouting and like getting eyes on setters early is a big, big, big thing. But yeah, those are three things I would try to like improve on, or like make kids improve on when they're trying to get better in the middle for sure.
How much film are you going through now, where, and what are you looking for specifically on, I guess, like the smaller detailed parts, right? Because obviously if you're just late to a pin, or you just misread the setter, like what are the other things that you're really focusing in on?
Yeah, I'm probably if we have a game on like say Saturday, I'm probably watching film Monday through Wednesday, and then we do team film like a couple days before, and then we do like a recap the day of. And I don't want to give out all my secrets away of what I'm looking at
Sure.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No problem, dude.
But I would just say body language for sure from setters.
Yeah.
Um, Tendencies, of course, like what do they like to set when they're here? What do they like to set when they're here? What the passing situations like, if they're going to be off, where they like to go, just certain like little things. Every center is different, of course, but when you're not playing like a first team All American type of guy, you can kind of it's a lot easier to read, and they become you kind of put them in like a box, because you've seen these players before, and like even though it's different programs, different guys, they're running the same things. Like there's only really like 7 things they could set, like, or 6. Or like it's just like they really can't set, like, you have big, middle, oppo, outside. Like you can't set much more. And when you like really watch film and see what they're trying to do, most of the time you can kind of predict what they're gonna do. Sometimes you're gonna be wrong, of course, but yeah.
Yeah. I was watching this YouTube video 2 nights ago. I don't know if you've probably seen it. It's on YouTube. It basically breaks down like the stuff that you do. And the guy brought up a really good point how you have a lot of range, right? There's a lot of different threats that you have. Um, how I guess how important is that to how do I put this? In terms of communication with your setter, I guess. Like as a middle, what are your roles in communication, but also like as a decoy or, making yourself more available, I guess is the general question. How do you make yourself more available?
Yeah, talking in transition is definitely the biggest thing. When you're in service eve, of course, you get the set or you get the set call before the play happens. But when you're in like those scramble situations and like maybe the pass isn't too good, you could call like a gap or something like that. And or like if the pass is pushed to like 4 or 2, you're calling back 1 or whatever it is. But that's just chemistry you build with your setter. Like me and Rowan I feel like we have a really good chemistry, and he trusts me and I trust him to put it exactly where like I need it or whatever like that. But it the range only comes of how good your setter is, to be honest. Because
Mm.
if your setter is setting you below the net, you don't have any range. And if
Yeah,
he's
we've
setting you
been there.
like 3 balls too high, you can't really do anything. So it really helps having an elite setter like him. And yeah, I would just say that.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question is like, especially in the middle, like you almost have to be reliant on someone who can, put the ball in the right spot if you're trying to run the tempos and stuff. Like I mean, I'm assuming you're basically like jumping ball in hands, right? So you need someone who can deliver that ball kind of into your window and really give you, the best chance to be successful.
Yeah, 100%.
As a middle, obviously you only run 3 rotations at a time, right? And so when you have those games where you're not as productive as you want to be, or maybe have those like, I guess just rotations where you're not as productive, how do you stay composed, and what's your approach in that aspect, and how do you get yourself going again?
That's a good question. Um, it's hard from the middle. I mean, you're realistically looking at maybe 2 sets a set, depending on like how we're passing. If we're passing bad, maybe none.
Yep.
But it's just kind of like having the mindset of like, okay, next play, next play, next play. And even if we're not passing that well or the setter's not setting me, you can make it up on defense. You can get some blocks, get some block touches, like create opportunities for yourself. So yeah, it can be frustrating at times. It was definitely especially frustrating like in club or like my freshman year of college. And I felt like I wasn't getting set enough, and then I got set enough, and then now all the attention would be in the middle, and now I have like 4 hands in front of me. I'm like, okay, now I don't want the ball, you know. So it's kind of like a mix because when you have setters like Andrew and Nick, my sophomore and freshman year, they know what they're doing. Like they're not just throwing it up to any random person. They're trying to like establish a system and create decoys and stuff like that. So you kind of just have to trust your setter in that thing. But sometimes it can definitely get frustrating when you're not getting the ball enough, you know. So
Yeah, how do you approach that when, things are down? Like I mean, just based on our conversation right now, I feel like you're not one to get too low on yourself, and obviously with your abilities it's kind of hard to, get too low, right? Because you always have that confidence in yourself. But like when things do get kind of rocky, how do you reset, or like do you have a process that you go through to do that?
yeah, it I feel like yeah, I always bring this up, but my freshman year I was the youngest out of the group playing. It was just basically seniors and fifth years, and I kind of need to like kind of humble myself a little bit because I felt like I wanted the ball more and more and more, and then I realized like we have all these weapons around me that are better than me at the time, and then I kind of had to understand that like it's not all about me. It's not all about like getting every perfect pass and like setting the ball like I need the ball here, 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 whatever. And just kind of understanding that it's a team game and to win you have to have pieces all around. So it's
Yeah.
kind of just having like a mental reset, like, okay, next ball, you're gonna get the next ball. If you don't, it's fine, go get a block type of thing. It's kind of just like if you don't get the ball, go get the ball yourself, type of thing.
That's Kobe. He's like, go get if you want the ball, go get the rebound kind of thing.
Exactly.
What is okay? Because we've been thinking about this recently. When it comes to like high level practices and even like sideline coaching, because we never played in college, and so our question is basically what goes on in a huddle. Because from my perspective, it's like, okay, you have some of the best athletes, some of the best volleyball players, obviously in the nation, but also in the country and in the world, kind of thing. Like, how much info can you give those people, um, to get an advantage when they already know kind of what to do?
Yeah, it it's funny you say that. It's kind of just regurgitating the same thing we talked about in scout.
Okay, all right, cool.
It's just like I mean, coaches give us they lay it out for us in scout and film, and if we don't execute, they're just gonna tell us again, and it's kind of just
Mm,
like it's just like a little reminder because there's a lot of things you have to think about. But in the huddles, we're just talking about passers are talking about seams, setters are talking to hitters sometimes. Sometimes we just split up. Like last year, Rowan would be with like BT, our assistant. He was like our setter coach. Coach Vogel would be with me and the other middle because he was like the middle coach, and then Hawks would be with like the liberos or like the oppos, just talking about other things. But it's kind of just like a mix up, and then we come back in the last like 10, 15 seconds, talk about what we need to fix or what we're doing well, and continue to do that. Nowadays, it's mostly about serving because we sucked at serving last year, and we're kind of just trying to find that middle ground of all right, we're gonna put this ball in or we're gonna bomb this next ball type of thing. If we're feeling hot, we're just going after it, but
yeah.
it's definitely more about serving now in huddles because it was a big problem last year, and we all as a group needed to improve on it. So
Yeah, because especially, I mean, I feel like a few years ago when I was watching, big high level D1 volleyball, it seemed like it was kind of like the ace or die mentality. Like you're hitting this ball as hard as you possibly can, and you're either getting the ace or you're missing. And it's interesting to see that there's coming more focus onto like keeping the ball in and still giving it a chance.
yeah,
Practice without like giving away your strategy this year. I guess just the flow. How often are you guys in the gym? How often are you guys, just getting reps in? How often are you guys like strength training and stuff like that, especially right now as you guys are gearing towards the season, but also like mid-season, end of season kind of thing?
yeah. In the fall, we've been going 5 days a week, lifting 3 times a week. Uh, But since the last 2 weeks, we've been off because of Thanksgiving and dead break because of finals. But we've just been doing open gym stuff like that. Guys are coming in, getting extra reps serving or like getting some hitting lines going, just keeping that connection. And everyone's lifting like as many days as they can. Of course, guys got to study for finals, but we're still coming in, putting in work and stuff like that. And then mid season, it gets kind of crazy. It if we it's weird because we have our games kind of split up. Like we'll have a game Wednesday and then like a game Saturday.
Yeah.
So we'll practice Monday, Tuesday, play Wednesday, then practice Thursday, practice Friday, play Saturday, be off Sunday, but we have to practice Monday because we play again that next
On
Wednesday.
Wednesday, right? Yeah.
So like some months are getting like 4 days off, like 4 days off for the whole month, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just gotta like adjust to that and get extra sleep, not be up late playing video games and stuff like that.
What are you on right now?
I'm actually in a party right now, but my mic's muted. I'm playing. I play Rainbow Six Siege, Arc Raiders, a little bit of 2K. Um, Then a little bit of Overwatch. I've been getting back into Overwatch, but mostly Rainbow Six Siege and Arc Raiders.
You gotta hop on Jinxie's stream, bro, and then get him out to one of your matches. That's another thing. I guess. Well, that's a good transition. Selfishly here, is like that's how we get this sport to take the next step, in my opinion. Not Jinxie specifically, but getting these high level or high profile people out to just watch volleyball.
Yeah.
Um, because you know, obviously we have the highlights, we have the excitement, right? But it's like getting in front of the right people, um, and I guess celebrities in general. Like more people need to see the sport live and watch, people like you jump 50 feet in the air. Like once they start seeing that and realize how impressive it is, it just becomes a lot easier to watch on social media and on live streams and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I would fry Jinxie, by the way. Like that's not even a joke. I would fry him, but but yeah, definitely. Like the women's do it so well. Like
Yeah,
we went to the Nebraska game versus UCLA. It was like packed out, like 10,000 people. Like celebrities are there. Adriana Lima, some like I think it was like she's like a supermodel or something like that. But yeah, like social media people like Holly are videographer, Nakoba visuals, Mumu Johnny. Those guys are like
that's our guy
the biggest thing in like growing the game. They're like putting so much out there for social
for
media.
sure.
Like the fans we have like overseas that can't come to games, they're all seeing it from TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, and they're the real like super athletes because they're showing us like at our best and really like pushing social media for men's volleyball, and it's helped so much. So they're the real heroes, to be honest.
No, absolutely, dude. Like those people are what makes this sport run. Obviously, you guys are first and foremost, but also like getting making it easily consumable so that the average person can enjoy the sport that we love, right? I guess my question transitioning to that is like, what do you think else needs to happen for us to be a household sport?
That's a good question. I mean, it's not gonna come overnight, of course, but
Yeah.
I kind of like, I kind of like have the same approach like the NBA has to the WNBA. So many
Hmm.
guys in the NBA support the
Right.
WNBA and like push women's basketball and donate and stuff like that. It would kind of be nice to get some help from like the women's side a little bit, like
Mm,
the Nebraskas of the world, the Pits
right.
of the world, all these amazing programs. It would be cool if like some of them helped out and like maybe showed up to a game, like the whole women's program showing support or something like that, or maybe like a donation to the players or something like that, or those universities create a men's program. That would be a really
Mm,
big thing. Like Nebraska men's would
yeah.
blow up. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
But like just maybe some help from the women's side since it's so much bigger than the men's side, and it would just be like it would be cool just a little bit of help from that side of the game, you know.
For sure, dude. I was talking to Joe the other day, and he thinks that we're 2 to 3 years away from pro men's in the U.S. Obviously, it's not like he has a crystal ball or anything, but like it's bound to happen eventually. How do you think that will elevate where men's volleyball is? And if that's something you'd even be interested in doing, staying here as opposed to what everyone's kind of stuck doing, which is going overseas.
Yeah, I mean that would be awesome in a perfect world that would happen, but
Yeah,
like right now we're worried about universities getting cut. So I don't
yeah.
even know if the money's even there for a pro league.
Mm,
Definitely, I don't know about in 2 3 years. Joe probably has a better idea than I do, but I I would love for that. That would be amazing. Like
yeah,
showing kids that there's a pathway to keep going and staying in the United States. It was kind of blurred because like not until my junior year last year, I kind of had no idea like where like the good pro like leagues were. All I knew was like Italy. I
yeah,
think like
yeah.
because that's where like people talk. I'm like, oh okay, Italy's the best. And then I realized
That's crazy.
Japan, Poland, Turkey. There's like a bunch of leagues, and that's coming from a person who's in men's volleyband. Like, and I
Yeah,
had no
Yeah.
idea. So of course when kids are like 14 through like 18 and they're like trying to figure out what they want to do. They're like, okay, well, why would I play volleyball? There's no pro league for
Mm.
volleyball or anything like that. But yeah, that would be super sick to have something in the United States. And
I I think his perspective on it was just was because of the momentum we'd get from the Olympics in 2028, right? And like riding that momentum, in preparation for it, during it, and after. Um, but yeah, I totally agree. Like especially with GCU being cut. Obviously, we had the Pacific News last week, but um, yeah, that perspective makes total sense to me. It's kind of tough to tell.
Yeah. I kind of want to backtrack a little bit. Because obviously you jump absolutely out of the gym. Do you have like a bread and butter, like this is what I did to increase my vertical, or this is what I keep doing to maintain my vertical, or whatever it may be?
yeah, so I was 15 or 16 when I started working out. And I kind of just got in the gym and I had this mentor. I forgot his name. Louis. Louis was his name. It was this big black Haitian guy. And I was like, okay, all right. Me and like one of my good friends, Chris, would go to the YMCA and he would work out there. And he kind of just took us under his wing and he taught us the basics, just bench, squat, just normal stuff. And then we kind of evolved and started going to different gyms and created like our own program. But I ended up from like 16 to 18, just like kind of lifting like a bodybuilder. I did push pull legs, which is chest, shoulders, triceps for push, and then pull would be back and biceps, and then I would do legs. So I kind of stuck to that. I would try to go like 5, 6 times a week. Um, I ate super clean when I was younger. I gotta start working that a little bit now. I've started slacking, but when I was like 16 to 18, I ate super clean, no alcohol, no candy, no chips, no soda, nothing like that, and it really, 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 really helped. And at that time, I was playing volleyball as much as I can, but just like getting in the gym is like the biggest thing. Like,
Mm.
there's not one magical workout that boosts your vertical from 100. Like, it's not like that at all. And
Right.
these kids that DM me, they want like the quick fix thing. They're like, "Oh, how many squats exactly do you do to do like just go out there and squat as much as you can for as many reps as you can. You're gonna grow and you're gonna get stronger and you're gonna jump higher." It's just getting in there and staying in there consistently and being disciplined to eat the right things, go to bed, get rest, fix your fucking grades, and do stuff like that. Those are the biggest things. Just getting
What
in
what
the
is
gym.
what is your squat?
Last year I did 4 plates and a 15 for one. I think I don't know what the weight is, but it's
430,
45,
435,
4
435.
plates on each
Yeah.
side, and then like
Ugh,
15
jeez.
for
That's
one
insane.
though.
Yeah. Well, it's
I don't
still.
think
I
I got
mean,
full depth. I got like halfway, but that's I'm gonna count that. I'm gonna count that.
no. I mean, when I see Keone doing his stuff, it's like all the just explosive stuff. So I mean, it's like it is what it is. We're gonna be at your match on. You can't make the 28th.
So we'll be at the 27th.
March 27th. It's 2 days before my birthday against Stanford because I grew up in the Bay, but we're out here in Sac now.
Okay.
It was my first time out watching you play in person. I've seen a couple of Stanford games and a couple other teams play, but that I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun coming out and watching you play. Obviously, if I ask prediction, you're obviously gonna say you guys. But how do you feel going into this season? I guess I'm not gonna ask predictions because we all know.
We feel good. Brought back a lot of pieces. We lost Coop obviously, which is a big hit, but a lot of guys have came in ready to go. Sean Kelly's improved so much from his freshman year. He's a beast. He's honestly probably right now he's probably our best player in the gym, to be honest. And then Zach's come back, always been good. He's gonna have another amazing season. Rowan always coming back good. We brought back basically everyone except for Coop, and we
Yep,
just replaced Coop with Kelly. So it's gonna be fun. We're obviously shooting for that national championship, and it's gonna be at UCLA, which is gonna be super sweet.
we're gonna have
But
to pull up.
yeah,
Oh
I,
yeah.
I feel extremely confident. We have a lot of pieces that are especially younger guys too. We got some freshmen coming in, shaking up the wave. Just so it's gonna be fun for sure.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to make it out there for. When is the national championship? What month is that?
It's in May.
May. Yeah, that's easy. We're out there for sure, dude. That'd be so much fun pulling up and watching you play here at Stanford. I'm a big UCLA guy, so I'll be not repping my home crowd, but it'll be fun. Uh, USA volleyball. What was that like this summer? Or was that the summer? That was the summer, yeah.
Yeah.
What was that like? How is that gonna help you this season coming up in terms of just that experience and kind of touch on some things that you learned out there?
It was great, man. It was super fun. And when you're training with like the highest level guys, it kind of humbles you a little bit. Like, okay, I was decent, okay in college, but these guys are pros. Like, this is what they do. This is their job.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to like just like pick the brain of like guys just like next to you, like Jeff Gendrick. I was asking him a couple questions about stuff, and like he's like the elite of the elite, and to be coached by like the best, like Karch, like Javi, Luke Reynolds at Pepperdine, like all those guys are just like they're they know the game so much, and just to like pick off like 1% of their brain and just understand like how they approach the game and like how they view things, it helps so much. And like practicing and training over the summer, I didn't realize it, but like it's what these guys have been doing for the last like 10 years. Like they get
Yeah.
like 2 weeks off and then they're back in their pro season, which is crazy. And yeah, it was super fun. Yeah, it was super duper fun, especially that group that went to Guatemala, the U23s. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but that was super fun. Mexico was fun with the national team. Then recently in Puerto Rico, with Carts coaching the Norseca Final Six. That was a really fun group. So it was really good.
Obviously, besides watching film on the teams that you're playing against, like how active are you in keeping up with, I guess, men's, but also the women's side right now? The NCAA tournament.
I don't really keep up with the women's side that much. I watch UCLA games when they're playing at home. I'll try to come to a game. But
Yeah.
I see clips on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff. I know Nebraska's like 30-0 or something crazy like that. But yeah, those girls are they're elite, and that's why the money's there. There's so many good programs, so many good like amazing players, and they've been doing great things marketing wise. Like they have like I don't know how many is it, like 3 pro leagues in the U.S. now. I'm just thinking like, damn, can we get like one? That'd be cool. And then they're killing it. I mean, you gotta just applaud them and just take notes from the men's
Right.
side and just be like, what can we do that they're doing? So
Yeah. In my conversation the other day, I was talking to Joe about like almost thinking about it like the how soccer is almost for at least for men, for the men's side, because where soccer is obviously internationally with how big it is, volleyball is huge internationally, right? We have, Italy and Japan and Brazil, all these crazy countries that are backing volleyball pretty well. Um, like you said, just taking notes on what we can do better, what we need to, you know, take out of our game kind of thing, how to make it more entertaining than it is already, how to make it more marketable, I guess. But yeah, I mean, this is why this conversation is dope with you. I mean, your personality is all over social media on different interviews and stuff, and the stuff that you're putting out with your ads. Your ads are sick. They're pretty funny. Every time one of his ads pulls up, I'm just like dying laughing at my phone. But it's just stuff like that. Just getting to know getting to know other high level volleyball players from the U.S. is, I think, what's going to catapult this to hopefully getting there a little sooner.
yeah, 100%.
I guess before we close things out, I had one last little segment thing, and then we'll finish up with maybe a couple more questions. But because I did some clickbaity stuff when I had Gage on, had him react to some photos. But I think with you, you're a big NBA guy.
Yeah.
Starting 7 on a volleyball court, top 7 basketball players that would translate their game best.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You can go. Let's go current and all time. I'm trying to test your
Current
ball
and all
knowledge here.
time?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put Wemby in the middle. We'll put
It's hard.
Wemby in the middle for sure. 7'4" can't really teach that.
You think he'd be
Um,
as lateral as you though?
I mean, do you really need to at 7'4", bro? Yeah,
You
he
could
can
just
just
go
put
like
his hands
this.
up easy.
That is he's probably covering out both pinkies arms,
Um,
but yeah.
I'm gonna put Braun at Oppo.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna put Braun at Oppo. I feel like he would just actually no. I'm gonna put Braun at outside. I'm gonna put
Okay.
Zion at Oppo.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna put Kyrie at Lib.
Okay.
I feel like he has
Yeah. That's the
I
finesse.
think
That's the finesse too. A little
good ball
finesse.
control. Yeah. Um, my setter.
This is the big one.
My setter.
Steve Nash.
It's got to be one of the top point guards. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. I mean, wait, think. I'm gonna put. I don't know. I gotta circle back to that one. I'm gonna say my other outside is gonna be. Oh wait, Magic is gonna be my setter.
Love it.
Magic Johnson is
There we
Perfect.
gonna be
go.
my setter. Yeah,
Is he?
and then
He's going. And he's going. Yeah. All 6 rotations. What does he say? He's like 7 foot.
Magic. Yeah, I
No,
think
he's
he's
like
like
six.
6'9" or
He's like
something like that.
6'9", 6'9", 6'9".
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then my other outside, I'm gonna put KD. I'm gonna put KD, straight bucket getter, greatest
KD.
scorer of all time. So yeah.
Love that dude. But yeah, bro. I mean, this was awesome. Really appreciate you hopping on, dude. I know you got places to be today. Um, we'll be cheering you on from the stands for sure in March, dude. Excited for you to come through. Um, you got anything before we close out, dude?
I think that sounds good to me.
Yeah, bro. Really appreciate you hopping on, bro. This is awesome. Good luck this season, man. We'll be, yeah, for sure, bro. Just keeping an eye on you and all the awesome stuff you're doing. And I'll definitely be seeing your videos on Instagram too, bro.
All right, bro. I appreciate you having me on. It was awesome, bro.
No, bro, absolutely. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you.